Good afternoon, my friends. We're coming at you at a new time today, just because we like you. We're here with the Canvas Czars, as I call them, Carrie and Lindsey. You know them as the founders of the Canvas for Elementary group. Really cool community. You all know Melissa, our Chief Customer Experience Officer. We are here to talk to you about something that's happening next Thursday called CanvasCon. What in the world is this thing that we're doing next week? Melissa, you want to tell us what's this conference?
Oh, it's all about bringing educators from all over the world together to celebrate their successes, share best practices, and to learn a few insights into where Canvas is going next.
Love it. So one of the cool parts about this year's CanvasCon, it's been InstructureCon for many, many years. Melissa's been to 8. This will be number 8. Is that this year we don't get to be with you in person, which is sad, but it also opens up a lot of opportunities for many, many more people. I won't give you the full number, but it is, suffice it to say that it's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of members of the Canvas community who are going to be joining us that day. There's some cool things. Keynotes that are going to be just ridiculous. LeVar Burton's Get Ready is going to be stellar. Speaking of LeVar Burton, I don't know if you guys have probably never seen this, but our friend Marcus Painter once did a lip sync of Reading Rainbow. He did, no joke. Dead honest truth. And Marcus, I feel like you should be sending that to us right now. So if you can find that and send it to us, we would love to see it.
You know, and speaking of lip syncs, one of my favorite parts of InstructureCon, I may have done a little karaoke at some point. So I can do that virtually. I'm in.
Prove it. Prove it.
I'll find it.
Of this.
Find it. Melissa will throw in extra swag if we can get some proof of you winning that karaoke competition.
I don't know if I won or not. Let's not go that far.
There's something really special about traveling with Carrie and Brad Mosier because they take it to a whole nother level. So InstructureCon was a once in a lifetime opportunity doing that with both of them.
It's true.
Love it. Okay, so first things first, October 15th, I hope you've signed up. The reason that we are pushing this is at 5 p.m. Mountain on Friday the 9th. That's when registration closes, and literally you can't sign up. The systems that we're using to make this such a cool event need some time to be able to sync up and whatnot. So if you haven't registered and you come to me at 5:01 on Friday, you're going to have a really sad face. So don't do it. I'm going to drop a link there right now for everybody to go right now. Click on the link and register so you can come with us to CanvasCon this year. Let's kick things off, Melissa, and why don't you give us just kind of a short 30,000-foot view of what you're focusing on in your keynote this year?
Yeah. So my keynote's focused on sharing some of the great examples from the community and how they are surviving a completely new world that we're all facing this fall or spring, depending on where you are in the world. I'm going to share a few tips and tricks, things like how to be human and how to bring your students along on your journey. So I encourage you to tune in for that. And like I said, we're going to be highlighting some great members of the community, just like these ladies, and the work that's been done out there.
Love it. It's going to be stellar. I've seen the script. It's going to be stellar, my friends. Carrie and Lindsey, what about you? You are some of our special presenters at CanvasCon this year. Any kind of little teaser? Don't give away too much.
Oh, yeah. No, we are super excited. So we had a chance to have a session about using Canvas in the elementary classroom. And Lindsey and I have talked, like, one of our biggest fears is teachers really viewing Canvas as their vehicle right now to provide virtual instruction. And so we kind of take it back to how it can be used when we're hopefully outside of this crazy remote world and are able to be back with students. And we also show how that could translate if you're still virtual or still remote, how you could still use it in that environment. But really, we are showing how it can be truly a blended learning tool and doesn't just have to be this tool that's so amazing for virtual as well.
Love it.
We've seen a few questions in our group about how do we transition from virtual to, full-time face-to-face. And so this is perfect timing of take this session, really how to use it in that blended learning format. And we're really focusing on using it as station rotation. There's your little teaser right there to really help you with that transition and use it as that vehicle. So we're excited.
Love it. So let's talk briefly. Melissa has this, again, will be her 8th InstructureCon or CanvasCon. She's kind of one of the OGs, if you will, of Canvas, as you can see. What we want to know, Melissa, is obviously InstructureCon and CanvasCon for so many years has been about the community. And that's not changing this year, everyone. I'll give you a little teaser that there is going to be some live networking and collaboration opportunities. Melissa's team is super involved in it. The community team is super involved in it. But you're going to have the ability to go and talk to the Carries of the world and the Melissas, and not that anyone wants to talk to me, but the Marks, all of those kinds of people are going to be available in rooms for you to really converse with. So we're excited. Melissa, what is one of the things for first time CanvasCon or InstructureCon people, what do you think how should they prepare themselves for what they're going to see?
Yeah, definitely scope out the agenda, be planful around how you choose to use your time and what you choose to watch. Remember that once you register, you can access the recordings, right, Mark, after. So pick and choose where you want to be live in the day and where you want to go back to once the event's done. I think that's going to be really important. And then take this as a chance to chat with others. We aren't always in the same place, even virtually at the same time. So use this as an opportunity to ask those questions and to be part of that community and share your ideas with one another. And then, like I said, go back to the things that you want to see again or dig in more deeply to after.
Love it. Carrie, what is a topic right now for you that is top of mind that you're hoping to maybe get some hints or helpers from at CanvasCon this year?
Yeah, actually, I saw someone just post in our group yesterday that they're leading a session on, oh gosh, I'm going to say it wrong now. It makes me that like I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I'm a Google girl in a Canvas world. And I'm like super pumped for this session because like I'm a huge Google fan. I love the ease of how Canvas and Google work together. And so I just think that's such a catchy name. So I cannot wait for that session. I'm super excited about it.
And of course, I mean, bringing back one of the old classic songs, if you can call it that.
In my head all day now.
Lindsey, what about you? Top topics that are really top of mind for you right now?
Oh, I think really elementary focused right now for us is huge in how to streamline things, make everything accessible for all of our students. So I'm really hoping to find a few sessions about not only Google like Carrie, but also how do we make this as user-friendly and helpful for our students and families.
Love it. A little teaser, this Friday, Melissa is talking with New Caney ISD out in Texas, 10:30 a.m., and they are doing some ridiculously amazing things at the PK all the way up through 12th level. So tune in. Case study coming out from them here shortly, but really good stuff to come.
Hey, Mark.
Well, yeah, go.
One other thing to point out is it's not just our community, but we do have some of our partners that'll be joining the conversation next week. And I encourage you to go listen to their sessions. The Google topic that Carrie shared made me think of that. There'll be some really good insight from some of our partners and some good stories around how customers are not only leveraging Canvas, but leveraging Canvas with a collection of tools in their ecosystem in order to really address virtual and hybrid and even the transition back into a traditional classroom.
Love it. Okay. Obviously, CanvasCon or InstructureCon would not be the thing it is without swag. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. And check that shirt out. There's going to be swag. Marcus Painter. I don't even know what to do with this guy. The Canvas casters are coming in strong. Awesome to see all of you again. Mark excluded. That's nothing new from this guy. Go follow the Canvas casters. We still like them, even though there are regularly snooty remarks that come our way.
We highly recommend episode 26, I believe it is. I don't know.
Carrie and Lindsey.
No.
I finally got invited, so you definitely need to follow them.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So there's going to be swag. The swag is incredible. There's some Cotopaxi backpacks that are insane. water bottles that are going to be great. But you have to participate on the day of to get the free swag. Sure, you can go to our store and buy stuff. That's great. But let's be clear. We want to give you swag. We want to give it away. So come on the 15th, participate, and earn yourself some cool swag. Melissa, let's go back in the old coffers of Canvas. Best swag that we've ever produced in the history of Canvas or InstructureCon. What is it?
Okay. This is a tough one because I'm biased. So I'm going to give a little personal story. I'm an only child. I grew up, stuffed animals were my friends. So the year, was it last year or the year before, we did the circus theme? I think it was last year. And
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I know where you're going with this.
Stuffed panda. Hands down, my favorite piece of swag. I wanted a stuffed animal forever from Canvas, and so that is my favorite. It is probably not the top pick of most people, however. I think definitely the orange bag. I think that was also a Cotopaxi bag. That's one that you see around all the time. And there have been some pretty classic T-shirts too that have come out of it. But that would be mine. Was the stuffed panda.
I love it. Carrie, Lindsey, any favorite Canvas swag you've ever seen or wanted your hands on?
Well, this and actually will not be a problem this year, but I feel like every year it rains, right? Like no matter what, at least one day or night it rains. I was there when Jewel had to move inside because it was pouring. And that was the year we got some nice rain jackets that I still wear to this day.
And I remember the pandas too, because we had to hoard them for Carrie's kids. So we were trying to bring back all of these pandas. So her children have my panda. But
They do have your panda.
Okay. I don't feel bad because I kept one too, and I probably shouldn't have. But there is one in my house, and so yeah, I feel guilty.
You're all in trouble. I'm turning you into the authorities. So that one of the other big things, Hildy's saying the sunglasses last year. They weren't Canvas, but they were so nice.
Yeah.
There were some action figures years ago, Melissa. I don't know if you remember those. Kona actually was talking to me just yesterday, I guess, about these action figures, and they were kind of the hot commodity from what I understand.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, and you had to do a badge type scavenger hunt to go get them. Yeah, that was a big hit. Big
thing. Okay, let's get back to your sessions. Carrie and Lindsey. Susan here is asking about the agenda. Keep checking on CanvasCon on that website because you'll be able to see agenda. But what is the session? Do you remember time of when, or how can they find it?
That's a great question. I'm pretty sure it's just Canvas for elementary.
The title is Using Canvas in an Elementary Classroom.
There you go.
So that ties right into Dosser's comment here about lower levels are really struggling with Canvas. What can I do to make things easier? Well, number one, you could attend CanvasCon and you could watch Carrie and Lindsey's session. But let's be really clear, we're not that mean. So we're going to share a couple of quick tips right now. Carrie, Lindsey, and Melissa, and I'm going to pick first on Lindsey.
Yeah.
So, Lindsey, you've done a lot of work the past many months, thank you, on helping people get up and started on Canvas. I want this to focus totally on those kind of littles, the elementary level or pre-K or somewhere in that area. How can we make it easier? What is it that teachers and administrators should do to make sure that they're setting themselves and their students up for success?
This sounds really basic, but it's just starting really small. And there are so many different apps and LTIs and things that you can integrate within Canvas. And those are all amazing, but that tends to be overwhelming at the very beginning when they're just learning how to log in, click, and access material. So if you can hold off on all of those bells and whistles that you're kind of used to using sooner rather than later, that will really help you in the long run. So really starting with that text entry or really starting with a discussion, something very basic that they can learn to how to navigate and learn how to do well, to then eventually baby step or stick your toe in the water of other bells and whistles.
Love it. Carrie, what about you?
Yeah, I just think just the more visual you can make it. I'm a former elementary art teacher, so obviously I like the visuals, but being able, and even if it's just a very simple graphic, it doesn't have to be something ornate, but really just like a simple button. So students immediately have that visual when they get into your course. They know where to go. They know what to do. I love using icons, especially for our younger learners. Obviously, they're still learning to read, so being able to use some graphics and some images that way that help them navigate through the course, that's my recommendation for getting started with littles. And Canvas obviously makes it so easy to link those images and turn a simple image into a button that then takes a student on their learning experience. So, yeah.
Great. Melissa, what about you? Any advice?
Yep, I've got 2 pieces. That's okay. Here. My first piece of advice is use video. I think that littles in particular, but students of all ages want to be able to connect with you. And if they can do it synchronously over video is a really good way to show your personality and who you are and how caring and loving you are for your littles so that they feel more comfortable as they're trying to figure out a new way to learn. And then my second,
my piggyback real quick,
please.
Like let your students submit videos too. Like, I mean, we're obviously on a video right now, but I know for my generation, like we maybe are a little more hesitant to be on a video, but like my son loves watching YouTube. He loves being on video. I mean, they are like constantly holding up that iPad, creating videos. And so I think allowing students to submit that back too can be a super powerful thing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, then my other thing is going to be a plug. So for those of you that use Canvas Commons, Carrie and Lindsey created a course that I think is incredible, because what it does is it helps students practice using Canvas without having it be in their actual course experience, right? Or what could be pressured or could feel as though this is going to be graded or this is going to impact my performance. So they've got a great course out there. I'd go grab it off of Commons, customize it for whatever age group you're trying to work with. But that's a great way to either bake into your course or have it be a separate course. Just a place where they can understand how to use Canvas and learn how to feel safe in doing that.
Love it. That's a plug right there. Go check out the Commons. If you haven't gone to the Commons, you haven't been listening. Friends, I think I've told you 500 times now. Go to the Commons, go to the community. Oh, Sam wants to know. How can she find such course on the Commons? Should she search for you? Is there a title? What could she do?
Considering I'm not very good with remembering titles of things, no, it is under my name. So if you search Carrie Gardner, you should be able to find it. But it is called Back to School Canvas Basics. So obviously the graphics are kind of back to school-y, thinking about using it at the beginning of the school year, the beginning of the semester. So search my name and you should be able to find it.
And there's one for iPads and there's one for Chromebooks. So you can kind of pick and choose whichever devices your students are utilizing most.
Carrie and Lindsey, once again, not disappointing. Reminder, we are here because next week, a week from Thursday, is CanvasCon Online. Yes, Carrie and Lindsey are presenting. Yes, you can find their session. Go to that link. Register right now, whether you're going to come or not, so that you have access to the on-demand stuff. It's super easy. Somebody asked, how could I find the course? Go to the site, go to Agenda, which is there in the nav, and then you scroll down and you'll see a little search button. If you just type in there elementary, you're going to see a course that comes up that's called Canvas in the Elementary Classroom. Guess whose room that is? Whoops. It's theirs. Attend. It's going to be killer. Not in a bad way, in a good way, everyone. It's going to be a good session.
And just to chime in again, one of my favorite parts about InstructorCon was always connecting with people. I think sometimes I took more away from the networking that went on than I did from the sessions themselves. Though I think this year the sessions are, one of them is going to be really good. But no, I know they're all going to be great sessions, but I am so glad that you guys have provided that opportunity to continue that networking, even though we're not in person. So I just want to thank you for that and allowing us to continue to be able to learn from each other. And like Lindsey and I in our session, we included our Twitter handle and a way to contact us because we don't want that to be the end of the conversation. We want to be able to continue to grow that Canvas community and that Canvas family outside of our sessions. So,
Melissa, Lindsey, I can see you're about to drop some knowledge on us. Go for it.
Are you ready for this? Well, I've been to InstructorCon once, and one of the hardest parts about going is deciding which sessions you're going to go to because you can't attend all of them. So Carrie and I would kind of, okay, you go to that one, I'm going to go to this one, and then we'll circle back and kind of share all the knowledge. But I love that with CanvasCon this year, you can access all of the sessions you weren't able to attend live on demand to be able to watch later, which is phenomenal because it can't be in more places than one at a time. So that's amazing. So even if you're teaching all day, make sure you register so that you can go back and access those videos when you do have a little bit of time to sit down and dig in.
Love it. These strong, very fantastic Canvas advocates we have on here are just a dream to be with. We are excited for CanvasCon. Melissa, wrap us up. Tell us why, as a customer or a partner, you ought to be at CanvasCon next week.
Because there's really no other better place to be next week. Let's be real here. And this is your chance, as Lindsey and Carrie have shared, your chance to connect with this community in a different, unique way than we all do over these live streams, than we do over email, than we do over webinars out there. And so take advantage of that. Connect with one another. And like I said, come listen to some great tips and tricks that you'll be able to use the very next day in your classroom and get some insights into where we're going as a company, and particularly with Canvas.
Love it. Okay, everybody, you know the drill. Go register now before you're too late. Big thanks to Carrie, Lindsey, and Melissa. We are back tomorrow morning. I know I told you this morning that we are not having one tomorrow, but Melissa's team came through. They said, we still got to do it. 10:30 a.m. We're talking about some really, really cool stuff. And I'm going to pull it up real quick just because you might be saying, well, what are we talking about? Digital content in Canvas. And this is Rachel Lee, one of Melissa's leaders, who is just fantastic. You won't want to miss it. 10:30 a.m. Mountain. We will see you all tomorrow, and we will hopefully see you on the 15th at CanvasCon. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.